Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Swindon Panel. Welcome to video 2 of the How to Make Swindon Panel solder boards. In video 1, we made an input board. Today, we're going to be making a output board. This is a red. Oh, it goes that way up. Sorry, Swindon Panel output board version 2.0, and they are red so that you can tell the difference at a glance. Slightly different components in this one to the last one, obviously, but this is the type of board that will receive the very small current from the computer and step it up into a much bigger current so that the panel lamps can light up. So you will need your same tools, equipment as last time. Soldering iron, solder, where's the solder? There it is. Solder removal pump, yeah, okay, I didn't have it last time, still haven't got it now, but you will have one. Solder cleaning sponge, wire cutters, small, long nose pliers. That's all the tools. Whoops. Electronics components, one SPS output board, red. 16-pin dip sockets, similar to last time, but 16-pin ones this time. There we go. Sorry, my hands are a bit black. 8-pin screw, yes, 8-pin screw terminal and a 2-pin screw terminal, exactly the same as the type we used on the input board. So one 8-pin one that goes to the panel and one 2-pin one where the power comes into the board. We need 8 270 ohm resistors, much chunkier than the last ones we used. 8 of those, 270 ohms each. 8 transistors, KPS 2222 80A transistors. One 10-way ribbon cable header, which again we still haven't got, I'm afraid, but I'll carry on anyway. And one slightly larger PTC 10 amp fuse. What does PTC stand for, Kev?
We still don't know.
We still don't know. Right.
And it's 3 amps.
Oh, it's 3 amps, is it? Okay, sorry, 3 amps. Excellent. I've got my little solder board here. Didn't say that last time, but just so I don't ruin my table and don't ruin yours, a little bit of driftwood in order to solder on. So, first step, you take your SPS board and your little 16-pin dip sockets. And once again, the pins may have got a little bit bent in transit. Those ones look okay. These ones are a little bit bent. So I don't know, do you want to see? Can you see on the end there? A little bit bent.
Yeah, we can see that.
So with either your fingers or your little needle pliers, just straighten them out so they're nice and straight and together. And all the same length. If any of them aren't quite the same length, you can just ease them out a little bit with your pliers. Again, same as last time, they've got a little notch. It's on the top there. Can you see the notch?
Yeah.
If I hold that one that way up, so you can see the notch is not on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, on the board, a little notch in the drawing. One on the top, one on the bottom, so not the same way up again. And the notches have to match. So notch to notch. Let's pop him in. There we go. And notch to notch. And again, I'm putting both in so that when I turn the board the other way up, it hopefully won't rock about all over the place. There we go. And solder in. Ooh. Right. There we go. Come on, soldering iron. There we are. Just a reminder, as per last time, the trick is to heat up the board and the component together, not one or the other. And then dub the solder on and it will melt nicely. Little blobs of solder, not big blobs, are what we're looking for. If you're watching this before the end of August, there is another work week at the end of August. You can come and join in. Lots of physical panel work to be doing. Stripping of cables, things like that. They've been building the walls for the simulator room today, so the simulator room's getting built as well. Oops. It's fun, isn't it? Once you get into a rhythm, it's quite good. There we go.
Lovely job.
You can see him.
You can.
Excellent. Right, on to step 3. Step 3, you require your resistors, and once again we're going to bend all the resistor legs as close as possible to the body of the resistor as we can. So we'll just take the little paper off, put it in the bin. Oh. Okay, so again, you can use your fingers or your needle pliers, but again, the holes on the boards are the length of the body of the resistor apart, so try and get it as close, if not closer, than I've done to the body of the resistor as you can. 8 of them again. All these boards are done in multiples of 8, so this one will take 8 outputs. There are quite a few, 3,000 controls and indications in the panel, so quite a lot of 8-way boards required. There we go, all done. Okay, right then, we will pop the resistors into the board, and again, if you're holding it, well, if you're holding it so that the writing is the right way up, the resistors will go down the left hand side as you look at it, numbered R1 to R8, not the bottom square, that's F1, that's where a fuse is going to go. Don't put a resistor in there, please. And again, for neatness, let's try and get all the resistors the same way round. So I'm putting gold at the bottom. In you go. They're quite snug to go in, which is quite good because it means they won't all fall out as we're going along. Ooh. In you go. Oh, I've got 10.
They come in packs of 10.
Ah. Okay, you only need 8, chaps. We'll put those 2 back in the box. Right, once they're all in, they should, if you've done a good job, all sit nice and flat.
Lovely.
Lovely. Solder the legs in the old-fashioned way. Quite a lot of cable there. There. Could do with one of those little soldery clip things to hold the board in place, which I haven't got, but you might have.
I did mine on cork, which fits in a little bit better, floats around a little bit more, so a little bit more sticky. If you get my meaning.
Good idea.
Cork mat.
There we go, let's just have a little look. Yeah, there we go, all done. Happy with that. Chop the legs off the back. Oh, I've got my big cutters this time. I might use my small ones. There we closer.
And you shot the camera.
I'm sorry. These ones are a bit more violent than the other ones.
They're thicker.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Right. That is that. Okay, that is all the legs chopped off the back.
Lovely.
Right, next we will install the 8-way and 2-way terminals. Here they are. Again, same as in the input board. They're exactly the same component. 8 little screw terminals on that side, nothing on that side. Please make sure the screw terminals are facing outwards, like that. And again, I found, oh sorry, same here, 2 little screw terminals, make sure they're facing outwards. I find if you put them both in and then turn it upside down, it's a bit more sturdy than trying to do one and then the other. When they're in, solder them in. Oh, don't look at that solder, that was a bit of a blob. Don't look at that solder. And there we are.
Lovely.
Excellent.
It's gone blurry. You're all right.
Oh, good. And once again, from the front of the board, they should sit flat on the board. If you're cockeyed on the table, then you'll end up with it at a diagonal angle, and it won't be as good. So try and get it square on the table if you can. That's why I put both on, unlike the one I did in the previous video, where I had it a bit wobbly. Right, okay, that's done. Excellent. Right, let's just go to the next step. Sorry, what's going on? Ah, there we go. Right, next, install the transistors. Right, so transistors come on a little cardboard thing like this. Let's just pull them off. Can we have a break, please? Okay, just a little interlude there where I learnt the best way to do it from Kev. So anyway, I've taken the transistors off the cardboard that they came in. On the board, there's a little semicircle shape, and the transistor is a semicircle shape as well. Can you see?
Yep.
Yep. So clearly that's the way around they've got to go. So pop them all in. It goes from Q1 to Q8. Oh, they can go in very easily. That's it. Pop them in as far as they can. They're a bit wobbly, so you might find you want to rest it on something while you do it. That was good ad-libbing there, wasn't it? In they go. Of course, I could use the pliers instead of my fingers. That might be easier as well. Oh. Get in. This might be the first Swindon panel video where we have some swearing in it.
These are electrostatically sensitive. I don't think they're not really delicate, but you don't want to be wearing nylon stuff which is all staticky when you're touching them.
Right, they're in. They're in. Now, if I turn this upside down, they're all going to fall out. So what we've discovered is if you've got a stack of these PCBs, you can hold it in, and 3 of them goes to about the same height as the 8-way connector thing, and then you can turn it upside down and they don't all fall out. Obviously, if you don't happen to have, or you're on your last PCB, for example, any old packing material will do. And that is quite a good system. Once they're in, obviously solder them in, and the pins are all quite close together, so this is where my solder skills might let me down, but we'll see. There we go. Now you don't want to overheat these transistors, so just a little dab with a soldering iron is what is required, because if you overheat them you'll cook them and they won't work, will they?
No. Then you get a permanent normal indication in 455 points.
Oh yes, that's why that's happened. Right, I'm gonna be cowardly and do the outside first. But you can all have fun watching me try and go down the middle. Now what I might do when I've done the outside ones is I might chop all the outside legs off actually, and then go down the middle. That sounds like a plan. Don't need those packing materials anymore. Right. God, it's quite difficult to chop off the bits as well. Up to you how you want to do this. But this is the order I'm doing it in.
Just have to be careful not to overcut and take the middle one out at the same time.
Yes. There we go. Get rid of all those bits. Let's solder the middle. Little blobs. I get them all, yes. Okay, and we'll now trim the middle legs off. Whoops. And they're in. There they are. And all chopped off on the back. Okay. Right, next is the fuse, which this time is a 3 amp fuse. Doesn't have a right way and a wrong way, because it's just a fuse. Goes on the end of the line of resistors, the F1. So just poke it in, twink, and then solder it on the back. There we go. Chop the legs off. Right, next we would install the 10-way ribbon connector if we had it, but I'm afraid we don't. There's a picture. I'll put a picture in on the video. Again, exactly like on the input boards, it actually goes on the back. So it goes on where the drawing is. So don't put it on that side where all the other components are. Easy trap to fall into. Please make sure it goes on the back. There's a little notch cut out of the drawing, and there's a notch cut out of the ribbon coupler. See, they have to match up. So please make sure it goes on the right way around. Sorry we haven't got that bit, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Next, last but not least, we'll install the serial number. Where's my serial number's gone? There we go. Output boards have a serial number in the 3000 series, and if you hold the board so that the S1 to S8 is the right way up, and then put the serial number on the same way up, so that all the serial numbers are the same way up, please. So that way up, not that way up. That'll be marvellous. And notwithstanding the ribbon coupler, that is a completed Swindon Panel Society output board ready to go in the panel. Thank you very much for helping volunteer to solder it.